Why does your smartphone battery keep dropping even when you're not using it? Is it because of apps running in the background? Actually, no. The real culprit is the billions of tiny switches inside your smartphone. Transistors. Even at this very moment, they are eating electricity. First, let me ask you a question. How are digital signals created? Many people explain it like this. If electricity flows, it's 1. If it doesn't, it's 0. But this explanation is technically wrong. The correct way to say it is, if the voltage is high, it's 1. If the voltage is low, it's 0. Why am I bringing this up all of a sudden? I'll tell you in a moment. Transistors. They are arguably the greatest invention in human history. The principle is simple. When you apply voltage to the gate, electricity flows. When you don't, it stops. Flowing becomes 1, and not flowing becomes 0. But here's the puzzle. Why did I insist on saying high voltage for 1 and low voltage for 0? Let's imagine a faucet. If water flows, it's 1. If it doesn't, it's 0. What happens when you turn off a running faucet? The water doesn't always snap shut instantly. Sometimes it drips for a bit before stopping completely. If a few drops leak from a closed faucet, is that a 0 or a 1? Transistors are exactly the same. Even when they are turned off, a tiny bit of electricity leaks out. They aren't perfect switches. This is why computers don't distinguish 0 and 1 based on whether electricity is simply flowing or not. Instead, they agree on voltage levels. For example, if it's below 0.5 volts, let's call it 0, even if a little electricity leaks. If it's above 2 volts, let's call it 1. That's how the standard is set. In theory, setting the voltage to 0 should stop the flow. But in reality, due to various physical reasons, the voltage never drops all the way to absolute 0. Even if 0.1 volt or 0.2 volt remains, we just agree to call it 0. Inside your smartphone, there are billions of these switches, and these switches never truly, completely turn off. When billions of tiny leaks add up, that's what's eating away at your battery. In the world of computers, there is no such thing as a perfect 0. See you next time.